It's almost 2 years since the arson attack on Kyoto Animation, a tragic event that shook not just those within the anime industry, but people across the world. July marks the return of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and also the studio's return to TV animation. At the time of the attack, messages came in from all of those that appreciated the studio's craftsmanship. KyoAni isn't just a contract studio, but a creative force in themselves, developing original series and creative adaptations of existing properties. Here's 5 things you need to know about Kyoto Animation. Probably the most important thing about Kyoto Animation is in regards to how it treats its workers. Quote, "Work isn't everything" is an unofficial mantra at the company. In an interview with director Taichi Ishidate, he was asked to talk through a regular day at the company, and he described how he gets up in the morning, takes a break for lunch, and leaves at 6. He says it's just like a normal company, and that it's probably not that interesting. But in fact, this is massively different from how most studios work. Anime relies on employees working overtime, and freelancers working for far less than they're worth, even if that involves working all night. But KyoAni is strict in its working times, even if it's frustrating for artists to have to put down their pen. Work isn't everything after all. Most anime companies will offload their work to freelancers, who they can claim no responsibilities for their working conditions. But KyoAni is more about raising their own talent and creating a limited amount of shows in-house, rather than take on work that they can't handle. And when I say raising their own talent, I mean that literally. The studio is strict about quality, but they will help you achieve it through their training school. In this way, you can learn exactly what's expected from studio veterans and then use those skills when you work at the studio yourself, and then the cycle repeats. It's an excellent way of creating a house style while also solving the issue of animator shortages. Kyoto Animation are pretty secretive, rarely taking interviews. For them, they'd rather let their work do the talking. However, ANN's Mike Toole managed to get an invite to visit the studio back in 2016, and one of the things he remarked on was how the studio is decorated to inspire its artists. At the time, they were working on the film A Silent Voice, and Toole remarked that the studio was covered with stock photos and image boards of schools, bridges, all the sorts of places that represent the film. This was to inspire the artists and get them thinking about the very real world that the film is set in and how it can help them convey the story. Kyoto Animation shows come from many different sources, some from light novels, some from manga, and some original. But there is one way of getting your idea made by the studio, and that's the annual Kyoto Animation Awards. Along with being an anime studio, they also run a novel publisher, where they will publish winning works under their imprint. And if you impress the judges, especially enough to win the grand prize, that's only happened once, they will adapt the story into an anime. The sole grand prize winner was Violet Evergarden, but even Free, Chunibyo, and the upcoming 20th Century Electric catalogue managed to get adapted after winning encouragement awards. The arson attack had a massive traumatic effect on people all over the world, but what was particularly remarkable is that the vast majority of artists ended up returning to work. Nobody would blame them for wanting to get as far away as possible from the tragic memories, but Violet Evergarden character designer Akiko Takase mentioned that continuing to work is her way of feeling close to her lost colleagues. KyoAni was and is a great company run by people who understand the importance of the staff under their care. And so in the last 2 years, they have persisted despite the tragedy and will continue to create great works with the health and safety of their team in mind. Thanks for watching OTAQUEST in Japan. Feel free to subscribe to find out more about the art and creation of Japanese pop culture.